and it's about a zoo in New York City. And they talk about families going to visit the zoo in New York City. And they also talk about the zoo having families within the zoo, different animals and their families. And there are two penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was named Roy, and the other was Silo. Roy and Silo were both boys, but they did everything together. They bowed to each other. I don't know if you know what penguins do when they're courting. If you ever saw that penguin movie, which is fabulous. They bowed to each other and walked together. They sang to each other and swam together. Wherever Roy went, Silo went too. They spent much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Oh, I'm sorry, they didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and Silo wound their necks around each other. Their keeper, Mr. Ramsay, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, they must be in love. Roy and Silo watched how the other penguins made a home. So they built a nest of stone for themselves. Each night, Roy and Silo slept there together, just like the other penguin couples. Oops. And every morning, Roy and Silo woke up together, but one day, Roy and Silo saw that the other couples could do something they could not. The mama penguin would lay an egg. She and the papa penguin would take turns keeping the egg warm until finally it would hatch. And then there would be a baby penguin. Sorry.
It's all right.
Roy and Silo had no egg to sit on and keep warm. They had no baby chick to feed and cuddle and love. Their nest was nice, but it was a little empty. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and he brought it to the nest. It was only a rock, but Silo carefully sat on it and sat and sat. When Silo got sleepy, he slept, and when Silo was done sleeping and sitting, he swum, and Roy sat. Day after day, Silo and Roy sat on the rock, and nothing happened. Then Mr. Ramsay got an idea. He found an egg they needed to be cared for, and he brought it to Roy and Silo's nest. Roy and Silo knew just what to do. They moved the egg to the center of their nest. Every day they took turns, and on each side stayed warm, so each side stayed warm. Some days Roy sat while Silo went for food. Other days it was Silo's turn to take care of the egg. They sat in the morning, they sat at night, they sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat at the beginning of the month, they sat at the end of the month, they sat all the days in between. Until one day they heard the sound coming from inside their egg. Peep, peep, peep. Roy and Silo called back, squawk, squawk. Peep, peep, answered the egg. And the egg, suddenly a tiny hole, they call it a pip, by the way, a tiny hole appeared in the egg shell. And then, pictures, yay! Crack! Out came their very own baby. She had fuzzy white feathers and a funny black beak. Now Roy and Silo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, Mr. Ramsay said, because it takes two to make a tango. I'm going to end there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have a t-shirt for